What's going on, everybody? It's Monkeyfarm. We are playing Satisfactory today. I'm going to show you how to build a circular base. As with all building games that are on the square grid system, it gets a little boring sometimes, so people like to build different shapes, and circles is one of those ways to break things up and make it look cool. So I'm going to show you how to build this. There's a couple different sizes, and I've seen a couple older tutorials that actually no longer work. So I'm going to kind of explain that, and this is after the May update. And I just built this just now, so this one is currently still working. Hopefully it doesn't change, but for now it's working, so I'll show you how to build it. And also want to remind you, if you haven't seen my vertical lift or my player elevator or my other videos on the Satisfactory world here, be sure to check those out in the Satisfactory playlist on my channel. So let's get started. Alright, we've got a nice open area to work with, and what you need to do first, obviously, is find out where you want the center of your circle to be. So let's say we want the center to be right here. The other thing you need to decide, obviously, is how high you want the circle to be. Do you want it in the air, or are you just building it on the ground? If you're building it on the ground, that's super easy, but I'm going to show you how to build it in the air just because it's a little bit trickier. You have to build up in the air, right? So anyway, let's show you that. Hopefully you have a jetpack. It's a lot easier to build these foundations up. Now, by the way, you can use full-size foundations or half foundations. Both work, so don't worry about that. At least they both work currently. So we're going to build up, say, like right here. Now, the way they used to do this, they used to kind of line up some conveyor poles on the corners, but now they don't overlap anymore. I don't know exactly what happened, but they used to kind of line up the corners that way. All right, so once your foundation is at the height where you want your circle platform to be, what you need to do is actually drop an item onto the platform or the foundation, and it needs to be a non-transparent item, so you can't walk through it or fall through it when you're standing on it. You need to be able to stand on it, and the smaller the better, because we're going to need to be jumping on this and putting platforms down. Just delete everything underneath it, because these are actually not relevant to the grid we're going to be building. Now, here's the key. Make sure you remember this. Once you decide to start building, don't use your WASD keys at all. Make sure you don't move at all from the position that you're in, because you're going to need to have the same starting point every time you build a foundation here. And I'll explain. So let's just do this real quick. If you push all the way down as far as your mouse will go, where it stops moving, you see this little grid of bubbles and circles. It's like circular bubbles on the screen. Okay, the reason I can't build here is because I'm kind of blocking the foundation. But this is going to be in the exact same position every time. So just jump up, place a foundation, and then that's going to be the center point. Now, like I said, don't push your WASD keys. Stay in the exact same spot. All right? Okay, from here out, you just build a plus. So you build out a couple blocks or a couple, foundations from the center in all four directions, north, south, east, west, or in whatever case your compass is pointed. Now, one other thing to note, you can only build out so far before the circle starts getting jagged. Now, I built out 2 foundations from the center foundation. You can build out about 3 before the edge of the circle starts getting jagged. As you can see right there, that's pretty smooth. But anything beyond 3 platforms out from the center, the circle is going to be kind of jagged around the edge. So just keep that in mind when you're deciding like how big you want the platform to be. Okay, so once you have the size all set up and your little plus sign of foundations built, just build or delete everything except the very outer foundation. So those are going to be floating out there in the middle of nowhere. Now I'm still standing in the exact same spot. Now, like I said, make sure you don't move or you're going to mess things up. Now you pull out your foundation again and just point it somewhere and rotate your mouse wheel just one spot. You can go counterclockwise or clockwise, doesn't really matter. Just rotate it one spot and then push your mouse all the way down again like we did the first time, right? So we're basically placing the foundation in the exact same spot we did the first one. The only difference is, guess what? It's rotated slightly. Okay, now I would run out there and show you this, but I can't move yet, right? Because otherwise my circle will be all messed up. So then you just build out the edge of your circle based on this new slightly rotated grid. And then once you get a overlapped foundation out there, just do this repeatedly until your circle is finished. So we're going to delete all this. We're not going to move our WASD keys, otherwise we're screwed, right? We're going to rotate one spot. We're going to push all the way down with our mouse again, so we're locked into the grid. Jump up. And do it all over again. Now I'll go through this real quick to the edge, because there's a couple other things I want to show you about filling in the circle and all of that. All right, we're back, and you can look around the circle and see the little grid of, it's like little weird shaped X's. Now, if you see any missing lines or whatever that aren't crossed over, it means you probably missed something. But anyway, our circle is complete. Now I'm going to leave the final platform here because obviously we want the inside of our circle to be filled in too, right? So I'm actually going to fill in these corners. Now the goal here, from what I can tell, these circles, if you do too many of them, I don't know if it causes lag or not. So if you want to build this out further, you can. It's a little kind of glitchy. If you look, it's kind of freaking out your eyes probably a little bit. You can build another foundation outside of all these. Sometimes it's hard to get the middle one. It might try to make you skip one, like see right here. Did we skip one? No, I think we got it. Anyway, yeah, like right here, that one skipped, so we missed one. Sometimes it's hard to like find the actual spot. I just saw it there. That's why it's easier to just figure out how far you want to build the circle in the beginning and build out all of your plus signs that far in the beginning. Because what you don't want to do, if this does cause lag, which I'm not sure, you're going to want to delete these, right? So that's going to cause a problem because then you're going to have to rebuild everything on the inside. So if you do happen to expand your circle out beyond the original one that you built, you can actually just add these back in, right? And fill in the circle. And that way you don't have all these overlapping foundations, so you won't cause lag. If that does cause lag, I'm sure. I mean, if your base is big enough, it's probably going to have some lag in it, right? You might end up with some weird things like these, and obviously you can just stick a foundation in there, but obviously, you know, you don't want to have it looking too weird because you do see the edge of it. But anyway, so aside from that little example I just showed you over there, our circle over here is all nice and perfect looking, and check it out. Looks pretty cool, huh? All right, so hopefully you guys have stayed till the end of this video. Everybody who left misses out on some of the tips and tricks I'm going to show you real quick. So now you can actually have your conveyor belts pointed every direction that your platforms are pointed, right? So you don't have to just have the 90 degree, the two choices that you currently have if you're putting them on a platform, right? So you can point them any direction. So that's useful, you know, if you have a factory here and you want to split things off to a different direction, or you don't want to, I don't know, all sorts of reasons why you would want to do that, right? You can do that. Also, if you want to do something like put a storage container, you can do that at an angle also. So your storage container can be pointed at a weird angle. See, here was our very first plus, and the storage container is pointed at an angle. So anyway, you can do all sorts of things like that. If you want to have your machinery pointed different directions, you don't always have to snap everything just, you know, the 90 degrees that the normal platforms let you go. So that's how you do it. It's pretty easy, and it's cool that you can build it in the air, because having like a circular sky base is super cool. I'm thinking I might build one. I don't know. Maybe I'll build a giant circle platform on top of my people elevator. But we'll see. So anyway, like I said, make sure you check out my other Satisfactory videos. and any of my other videos if you want to. And obviously subscribe if you want to be notified of future videos. So hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you all next time. Thanks. See ya.